I'm Adrienne, and this is the Hidden Curriculum of Life, a podcast. In this podcast, I talk about the real stuff, the stories that have shaped me, the struggles that tested me, and the moments that reminded me of who I am. And now these lessons I did not learn in school. They came from heartbreak, healing, and hard-earned growth. My hope is that through these stories, you'll hear a bit of your own and remember that you're stronger than you think. And you are never walking this road alone. Trust me. Episode 11. The hidden curriculum of the holidays. Stress, joy, and small acts of service. The holiday season is supposed to be joyful, but for many of us, it's also heavy. There's stress, there's grief, the financial pressure, there's family dynamics, there's loneliness, there's the feeling that we're supposed to be happy when sometimes we're just tired. So today I want to talk honestly about the holidays, not just the stress, not just joy, but how the two live side by side. How small acts of service given and received can soften even the hardest seasons. The holiday season has always been rough for me. I do have memories of some really wonderful Christmases, gifts, and lights, excitement. And at some point, I found out Santa Claus wasn't real. And honestly, I think it stopped being so much fun at that point. And then I had to be Santa Claus. That was hard. Not just because Santa isn't real, but because being Santa means carrying the responsibility of bringing joy to somebody or a lot of people when you're already stressed, exhausted, or barely making it. But over time, I've started to see it differently. Being Santa isn't about one day. It's not about Christmas morning. It's about what we do for people every day during the season. It's the small things. Letting someone with one pack of soda or beer go ahead of you in a line while you're standing there with a full cart and 20 people behind you. It's holding the door for somebody when their hands are full of bags. Saying hello to a stranger. Choosing kindness when frustration would be easier. What if that is what Santa really is? What if we're meant to be Santa for each other, quietly, imperfectly, all season long? This year, I couldn't afford a Christmas tree. And having to explain that to my 7-year-old broke my heart and his. I told him that bills and rent and food had to come first, that sometimes we have to make hard choices. He was so hurt. I had mentioned it casually to a friend, not asking for anything, just sharing where I was at. And she showed up with a Christmas tree and ornaments for us. I surprised my son with it, and he started crying. Seeing him crying made me start crying. So I'm wiping away the tears from my eyes. I asked him, "Why are you crying?" I didn't know why he was crying. And he said, "I'm crying because I'm so happy. I didn't think we were going to have a tree." Thank you. Last year, when I was still married and we had 2 incomes, Santa came through with big gifts. A PlayStation, and then prior to that, a bike, and all the other Christmases, Santa brought the big gifts. This year, Santa had a harder time coming. And yet, this was the moment that mattered the most. Not the price, not the gift, but the gratitude, the love, the reminder that joy can still show up even when things look different. Santa brought me a Christmas tree that I was able to give to my son. Santa might not come this year. And unfortunately, or fortunately, he already knows that Santa is actually mom. So I'm going to do my best to show him and give him what I can. And if it's just my time, I'm going to do that. Now, we talk a lot about financial stress during the holidays, and it's real. It's it's real. I've had many conversations with other friends who have been sharing their stories with me, and it's hard. This year has been really hard on many of us. But there's another kind of stress that sneaks up on us too: obligation, saying yes to everything. Yes to the parties, yes to the gift exchanges, yes to the dinners, yes to showing up when you're already exhausted. And before you know it, the season that's supposed to feel joy starts to feel very, very overwhelming. So I want to say this clearly. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say, I'm okay. Thank you. It's okay to rest. It's okay to protect your energy. But at the same time, and this really matters, we still need to check in on each other. Let's check in on our single friends. I'm going to check in on the listener, see how he's doing. Let's check in on our divorced friends. Let's check in on our recently separated friends, our single moms and single dads, the people whose lives look very different than this year than it did last year. And you would know. You would know who are those that you need to check in on. Because the holidays aren't really about giving someone something you bought them. They're about showing someone that you see them, that you care about them, that you thought of them, and it's okay if they say no. You offered. You invited them to come eat. You invited them to stop by. You invited them to be part of something. And sometimes the offer itself is the gift. Recently, I just got a text from one of my half siblings asking for my address so she can send me a Christmas card. We haven't talked much lately, but that simple message, I'm thinking of you, changed my entire day. I love Christmas cards. I love handwritten notes and knowing someone thought of me enough to send one. It meant more than I can explain. At work, a coworker gave me a Christmas card. It was simple. It was kind. And I cried. Not because it was anything big, but because it reminded me that small gestures still matter, especially when you're tired, especially when you're carrying a lot. Another example um, of this holiday season is our attitude, or how we treat others, strangers. My daughter had gone to the store to run a quick errand for me. And she was parked next to a very large SUV that was parked in a very small space. She parked. She was able to get out. She was in a hurry. She didn't realize how close she had parked to the SUV. She thought it would be quick. She'd go in and come back out. The lines were very long. And that already had her pretty stressed out. She called me and apologized for not being able to finish the task I had asked her to do for me. And I was fine with it. I didn't want her being there if it was causing her any anxiety or it was just bad timing. So when she ran back out to the car, the woman from the SUV just started yelling at her, cursing at her, telling her she needed to park better, that she couldn't get into her vehicle because of the way she had parked. My daughter didn't yell back. She didn't escalate it. She just smiled, smile and wave, smile and wave. But it still hurt her. Just added more to the anxiety and stress she was already feeling that day. And what struck me was this. Sometimes service looks like holding back, biting your tongue, saying thank you, no thank you, to someone's reactions towards you, because that's how they're acting out while they're stressed. She chose not to respond with anger. She chose not to add more harm to the situation. That's service too. So it's really great when people show up for you during this time too. Strangers. I was on a date recently and we came up to a green light where there was a car just stopped. No flashers, nothing. My date immediately knew something wasn't right. So he pulled over and he said, I'm just going to go check on them. It turned out to be a young woman, probably in her 20s, and her car has stalled on a slight hill. He later told me it had reminded him of his daughter. But if that was my daughter, I would want somebody to help, stop, check in. So he started pushing the car on his own up the hill. I noticed quickly that he was pushing the car, so I got out and redirected the traffic as best as I could. And once I felt it was safe enough for me to help, I joined him and started pushing up the hill, making a right to go into a parking lot. I didn't see the two trucks that had stopped, but then all of a sudden, as I'm pushing with all my strength and my head down, two additional strangers popped up to help us. And we all were able to get the car into the parking lot. Mind you, there were slight hills all along the way. When she was safely in the parking lot, the person she had called to help her showed up and thanked all of us. And the young woman, she was in tears. She kept thanking us. And in that moment, I thought, this is it. This is really what the holiday season is about. Not being angry that someone is in your way, but asking yourself, something's not right. How can I help? He told me later that he does stop because he was once in a dangerous situation where no one helped him. And ever since, he's promised himself he's going to stop when it was safe. Anytime, not just through the holiday season. That's service. That's the ripple effect. We don't know how we changed the outcomes of that young lady's life by stopping and helping her out of the way. The holiday season is all about traditions too, right? This is when love languages really come out. So this season definitely has taught me something about love languages, mine especially. I used to think my love language was giving and receiving gifts. Am I going to stop loving because I can't financially do that anymore? Or right now? No. Right now, it's time. That's my love language. It's offering my time, it's offering my commitment to being there for people, to being there when I said yes. It's being present when I'm with people, with those I love, with those I work with my friends, Mom, I need a charger. With my family. Maybe it'll be next. Sorry, my son needs a charger while I'm recording. It's not the $500 PlayStation. It's quality time. 600. There we go. It's 600. I said 600. 600. Yeah, 600. Okay, baby, let me finish, okay? If your love language is service, serve in ways that bring you joy. If it's gathering around the table, making tamales, bizcochitos, or your family's traditional meals, invite someone new into that tradition. You might be planting a seed for someone starting over, for someone creating new traditions. That's service too. At work, we close right before Christmas and we come back after the new year. I'm grateful that I want to serve as many of those I work for before I leave on my vacation or my winter break or before the school closes down for the winter break. And I made sure I surprised 5 people. It's not a gift, but it's something they were waiting to receive. And I did it before the end of, before the break started. And I don't know. That's my way of giving them a Christmas gift or a Hanukkah gift or just a human gift. Just putting a smile on someone's face, especially if they've had a hard day. If the holidays feel heavy this year, say no when you need to. Say yes when you can. Check on someone who might be struggling. Let someone help you if they offer. You don't have to do the holidays perfectly. The hidden curriculum of the holidays is this. Stress doesn't mean you're failing. Joy doesn't have to be loud. And small acts of love still count. Sometimes the greatest gift we give or receive is simply being seen. What small act of service or traditions are you sharing this season? Or what's one that you'd like to start? I know for me and my small family, we're going to be going hopefully to Six Flags if it's not closed due to the winter storm that's coming. Because unfortunately, my tradition for Christmas to New Year's was to drive to New Mexico and spend time in New Mexico. But this year I can't afford that. And I don't know what next year is going to bring. What's your tradition that you now have to change? I would love to hear about it. Share in the comments, send me your story. And if you know me, let me know. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with me on the Hidden Curriculum of Life. I hope that today's story reminded you that your journey matters. Your storms, your scars, and your strength. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep becoming the person you are meant to be. And remember, the lesson is always in living. Thank you.